Whoosh. Hey guys, today we're going to be checking out 212 Heroes Forever Young by Carolina Herrera with the very interesting skateboard-shaped bottle. I mean, look, it's got the chucks and the wheels and everything. No grip tape on the front of the bottle. But yeah, I think at this point, we've seen it all. There are some tacky bottles out there. Normally, Paco Rabanne usually seems to take the reward for the tackiest bottles like the Invictus and 1 million gold bars and so on. But I don't know, man. While this is cool, it's also kind of ridiculous looking. But we're going to go ahead and check out how this one smells, how it compares to other fragrances out there, and if I think it's worth picking up. And actually, talking about 1 million bottles, the front of this does kind of remind me of a 1 million bottle a little bit. Here we've got 1 million Lucky, and I don't know, just see the way the atomizer is set up front. They both have this plate. I don't know. Let's go ahead and jump into this one and see what we have. Skipping the tester strip and going straight to skin today. That was a nice sound. Yep, that sounds great. Something I've never smelled before. Smells like Invictus. Yeah, it really does kind of have an Invictus bubblegummy sweetness right off the bat. That can't really go over your head. If you've smelled any sort of Invictus or bubblegummy fragrance out there, you're going to pick up on that immediately. It's bubblegummy, it's sweet, but it's also fresh, basically right off the rip here. So yeah, nothing new, not really off to the best start. Let's try to stay optimistic though. I'll let this dry down on my skin, and while it's settling down, I'll go ahead and read off the note breakdown for you. Up top, we have pear, ginger, cannabis. In the mid, we have geranium and sage. And in the base, we have musk and leather. So another cannabis fragrance, or another fragrance, I guess, that uses the accord of cannabis. I think we've had a couple of them come out this year already. Bad Boy Le Parfum uses cannabis. And actually, this kind of almost has a little bit of a similar feel to Bad Boy Le Parfum to me, although much more sweet, much more bubblegummy, and much more basic. The reason why I say that is because you get the cannabis leather mixture in this one, kind of like you do in Bad Boy Le Parfum. Bad Boy Le Parfum also has a relatively prominent geranium note, and this one shares the same note. Now for me, Bad Boy Le Parfum opens up very spicy, and it's all about that leather cannabis spicy accord, and then it does settle down a little bit, and it kind of stays in its own direction. This, to me, kind of smells like that fragrance, but way lightened up and way more sweet, way more bubblegummy, and also just has a bit more of a fresh, clean accord to it. There is nothing really spicy or off-putting about this one, maybe like Le Parfum has. And that off-putting, spicy pop in the opening of that fragrance is really what makes me like it. This one here just goes very basic, very boring right off the rip. In terms of the notes that I pick up on, I get a little bit of a sweet pear. And for me, also, when you spray this one on, the sweetness immediately right off the bat can almost be somewhat compared to Ultra Male, right? Ultra Male has that pear note, it has other sweet notes in there. This kind of has a similar thing. It doesn't smell like Ultra Male, but it does have just a sweet, sweet blast. Sweet, fruity, syrupy, Invictus-y right off the opening. And again, that level of sweetness is pretty close to Ultra Male. It does die down quickly, which is a good thing, like on skin. It's not nearly that sweet anymore. It's a bit more aromatic, a bit more musky on skin, but off the opening, this one is very juvenile, very sweet. The opening will put off a lot of people if you're not into sweet scents. The cannabis comes through a tiny bit, just giving it a little bit of an herbal feel. The geranium gives it a bit of a minty freshness, and that's kind of where that clean, fresh smell is coming from here. There's a nice clean musk in the base, not really picking up too much leather as it sits right now. And really, even for me, the ginger that is listed as a top note in this one doesn't really give off too much of a spicy kick. It's not really all that prominent. For me, I think the ginger is more so lending a bit of a sweetness rather than a spiciness. And I would like to see maybe a bit more spice out of this one, just to make it a bit more interesting. And again, I'm kind of tying back a little bit to that Bad Boy Le Parfum, just with a lot more sweetness going on in this one and just much more basic. Now, what's interesting is this has 3 perfumers that worked on it, 3 of them, and this is what they came up with. I don't know, that's just a little bit strange to me. I just don't find this one to be all that nice, all that great. It smells good, but outside of it smelling good and smelling mass appealing, it just doesn't have really anything going for it for me. It's not even too strong of a cannabis note to make it maybe a bit more different, you know, it's just kind of bland and boring. Also, Bad Boy Le Parfum also had 3 perfumers working on that one, completely different perfumers between the two, but I found that kind of interesting. It seems like that has been happening a lot lately where there have been 2 to 3 perfumers behind a lot of the new releases. I'm not really sure what's up, and when you get something like this, which isn't all that exciting, why do they need to be 3 of them? Again, for me, this is boring. This is uninspired. The bottle is going to be the selling point for a lot of people out there. And yeah, sure, it is cool. But the scent, I just, you know, it is not very good. It is just boring. It is bland, uninspired, and boring. Also, the coloration here, it's a light blue. You would think it would be maybe more aquatic, more fresh, but really it's just bubblegummy sweet Invictus Aqua / Invictus / a little bit of a Le Parfum bad boy type of smell in here. I don't know. That's really about all I get from it. As it does dry down more, maybe a little bit of leather comes through. Maybe some of the bubblegummy sweet opening from the pear goes away. But I also find that this isn't all that strong off of my skin so far. I did a couple good sprays here on my hand, and while the atomizer isn't great, it does do good enough. So it pushed out quite a bit, and it just doesn't seem to have the power. In the air and right off the opening, it is ultra sweet. A lot of that pear comes through. A lot of that sweetness comes through. It is just youthful, juvenile all the way through. Now, may sound like I'm ragging hard on this fragrance, and maybe I am, but I do also want to address that this is called Forever Young. It's 212 Heroes Forever Young. They have something on the box about how you never stop dreaming, all this type of stuff. It is has a skateboard look to it, which kind of is normally the younger guy, teenager crowd sort of thing. Of course, plenty of adults skateboard, but you understand what I'm saying. The theme of this one is obviously going to be marketed for younger teenagers, younger guys in general, and especially when they see a cannabis note, they're going to be all for it. That's their target market. Their target market is not people like you and like me. So while I am bashing on this for myself and probably for you watching this as well as someone who's into fragrances, I have to let you guys know that if, you know, this isn't good, I'm going to tell you that it's not really that great for an enthusiast. People outside of the community, they're probably going to like this one and really enjoy it. Everything from the bottle to the scent and just the whole idea and marketing behind this one. I always like to be transparent with you guys, and when something's boring and generic, I'll tell you, even if it seems like I'm ragging on it. But I really don't have much else to say about this one other than this is something that we have smelled a multitude of times by now. 99% of you guys watching this are going to want to keep moving. I think that's going to do it for me. That is my thoughts on 212 Forever Young Heroes skateboard guy, tacky bottle dude, fragrance, whatever the name of it is officially called. I don't know. It's kind of all over the place. But yeah, it's is what it is. It is going to sit up like this on your shelf. Is how I would imagine that it would work, or you could probably lay it down if you want to take up more room and stack stuff on top of it. You know, cool idea, but just not for me, and probably not going to be for most of you guys either. If you guys have tried this one, let me know what you think down below. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.